What's going on, guys? This is John Sakari, and today I'm coming at you with something a little different. I've mentioned in previous videos that I'm pretty big into comics, and I've been wanting to start making videos calling attention to this awesome media, but I really haven't found the time until now. So today, I want to talk about this week's big comic release, the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
If you were a kid in the late 80s or early 90s, I bet you loved Batman the Animated Series and the Ninja Turtles cartoons. Not only were these both stellar shows, but they were great complements to each other. Batman was a much darker cartoon for the time, and the Turtles had all of the colorful comedy kids love, and both were complete with badass ninja action. As a kid, I'd love to have my Batman and Ninja Turtles figures team up to create dream scenarios. Like, what would happen if Batman faced off against Shredder? This new 6-part crossover comic looks to answer that and more. But how is this crazy story shaping up after the first issue? Well, this series starts off in a way many of these types of crossovers do, with a case of mistaken identity. We begin with a researcher that's recounting the events of an attack that took place on her lab. She mentions ninjas as well as a group of metahumans, the Turtles. Since this person didn't get a good look at what happened, she assumes that the Foot and the Turtles were working together, and she happens to be recounting this to none other than Batman. So Batman sets off to confront the Turtles, who have set up a new home in Gotham's sewers. Now, I want to refrain from spoiling too much about the story, but if you're a Batman fan, you probably know Gotham's sewers aren't exactly the safest place to hide out, and it's not long before the Turtles have a very unexpected visitor. Meanwhile, Batman uses his knowledge on these lab raids to set up a trap at Wayne Enterprises, and of course, the Foot shows up. Thus, Batman begins his unique style of interrogation about these new metahumans. So what we're getting here in this first issue is the obvious setup for the story and a couple of cool little fantasy instances, but mostly, this issue does what you'd expect from the first in a major crossover. It teases you with things that are to come. I've got to say the writer, James Tynion, has a good handle on how to portray both the Turtles and Batman, and I'm sure it's got to be tough to ping-pong between them as they're so different. The illustrations by Freddie E. Williams do a good job representing both Batman and the Turtles in a way similar to their current comic runs. I'm always worried, particularly with the Turtles, that artists are going to go way off the rails with their designs for them, but I really like the way they're done here. Some other things are a bit off though. The Batmobile in particular sticks out as kind of like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, that looks like something Count Chocula would drive, not Batman. So, for an initial issue, I'm really enjoying this comic. So often we get these over-convoluted crossovers that try so hard to make sense of everything that's happening that they forget what this is all about. Fan service. We just want to see what happens when these two worlds clash, and personally, I'm definitely sticking around for the rest of this ride. Well, that's a wrap for this video. I hope those of you who normally come here for my gaming content enjoyed this, as I plan on doing more comic videos in the future. But if you didn't, don't worry, the gaming stuff isn't going anywhere. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to my channel now, and you can say you were a subscriber before it was cool. As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.
Give me the camera.
Look, he's doing his Batman voice.